Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. Let's have a look at Gigawatt PF2 Mark II powerbar. So here it is. That's how it looks inside, and that's the outside. And there's no on and off button, which is a bit, yeah, a bit unusual. I also don't have that on my Isolate Mini Sub-Access box, so I mean, in a way, that's good because then you don't have to deal with a fuse which puts quite a bit of signature actually on a power bar. But yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, a bit unusual. Actually quite pretty looking in this in this box. Let me just quickly show you how I see the market. This is how I see normal power bars, and then we get the normal one with gold plugs, and then we have like the Supra, the newer Supra, Syndec, Top Syndec, Isotech, and that's how I rank them. So I feel that the more that you go up towards the best standard, then I feel that it just gets more natural. And yeah, these players here obviously have certain parts of the detail that is a lot better than Isolate in some few aspects, but I feel that generally that these boxes here from Isolate just are overall better because they have all those rare things, fantastic voices that are natural, instruments that are natural, integration, minimalism in a good way, not where these players over here are more of a hyped up type of sound. So I feel that especially with these boxes here, this area, and especially this here, it's just very focused on the technical aspects. And yeah, once you get up to like Niagara 3005 and 7, and also the Gigawatt here, we really get into a crazy good sound where the black levels are really crazy good, and the power is crazy good, and the soundstage size of the image is really good. There's a lot of pressure, but still a bit on the, I would call it, pretend hi-fi side for me personally. I prefer the Isolate way of doing it. So I had the Shunyata Hydra 6 before this. Yeah, when I went over to this, it was significantly better in pretty much every aspect. Just more access to a more full body control type of sound. More power, more control, more stable. Just, a whole class better. So I later, after having this box here, I quickly went over for like a week or two, maybe 3, I can't remember. I had this Gigawatt box here, and it was a lot more impressive. But I just felt that it was even more fake in sound, which I don't like. So I traded it for something else, I can't remember. And then I went over to the Isolate Mini Sub-Access, which is cheaper and better, at least for me. So I feel that it was a very good purchase for the money. About the same class as the AudioQuest Niagara 1000 model. Different taste, different priority, but around the same class. And yeah, very compatible with these types of plugs, especially this here. So I feel that just if Gigawatt could just change all of their plugs, instead of having these plugs here, over to a Fuotech NCF plug and have some threaded cable, I think it would actually make the sound more rich, more stable, more natural, and I feel that they're so close at cracking the code. Same with AudioQuest. If they both could do that and use even less parts, as soon as you skip all of this what do you call it, solid core cable together with these bracket thingies, screw connectors, I feel that you're then getting into a type of sound that is more believable, where the equipment disappears more, whereas when you're doing it in this way, of course it's a lot better than a normal power bar, but you still feel a tiny bit of artificial separation where it just doesn't quite recharge and discharge the energy and become all magical. It's still a bit of a hi-fi show product like sound, and I feel that that's fine. They've obviously created their own product sound, which is still very, very good. I just feel that because of this way that they separate detail, I feel that it's a better fit for gear that's generally more in the warmish type of perhaps tube sound. So can still sound very good with transistor gear. I just feel that if you want to own it for many, many years, it's more safe doing it with tube gear on Gigawatt in general. But lovely boxes, good price. I like the company. I like the design. Generally, everything that they do is really top class. And also, something that you don't think about is that not just this brand, Gigawatt, but a lot of brands, if you just have yoga mats or something soft underneath, it actually helps dampen the vibration on the equipment, so it gets just a tad bit more natural. And that goes especially for this box here. That really helped a lot. Putting some soft stuff underneath that. Even on my Isolate Mini Sub Access, I still have some yoga mat underneath that. And it gives it that tad bit extra organic warmness, so everything just has a tiny bit more time to settle and do its magic, instead of it just goes like do 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 do. So I think we generally want to avoid that, because that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, I think, still use power bars, because they think, oh, this is a lot more natural than a power bar cleaner or regenerator, whatever they call them. And they're right, because when you go up from the standard power bar that costs like $1, $5, $10, and then up to like Syndac, Isotech, Supra, whatever, these boxes here cost a lot more, and usually they separate detail by making it artificial. And I can clearly understand that why people want this more dirty, traditional, heavy type of sound, because it creates a form of almost natural colorization. Whereas when you're going up here, you're going from a sort of a plasticky, separated sound to a more thin sound, to a more of a neutral sound, even more neutral sound, to a slightly more warmish sound. Then we get a bit more meat on it here, and a bit more meat and personality, and it gets better once you go up. So I fully understand why a lot of people think that power bars and regenerators generally prevent dynamics from happening, and it just cleans out the sound too much. It does sometimes do that. And I think that especially when you have these metal bars and solid core cables inside of these boxes, it has a tendency, especially with brass plugs and just cheap plugs and generally, it has a tendency of making the sound too naked, too focused on the movement, the dryness, the vulgarity of the detail, instead of just, playing music. So that's basically all I had to say about this product. I was very satisfied buying it. I got it for a good price. I can't remember how much, but I got it for, I think, almost half price new with the receipt. And man, did it take me a long time to get a hold of it. But I was lucky. I was really lucky, and it sounded really awesome with Oyed plugs. And I would guess that it would sound, I haven't tried it, I would guess that it would sound perhaps a bit better with FoodTech plugs, because FoodTech have a tendency of coloring sound a bit and helping a bit too much. So I can imagine that if you like FoodTech plugs, this would be a good partner box to go with that, together with perhaps AudioQuest. But I don't feel that Isolate Mini Sub Access is a good suit for FoodTech. I feel that's more of an Oyed type of thing, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's me logging off, and have a nice day.